Hi guys, it's Elle, and today I wanted to do a gray and beige makeup look. I am obsessed with muted cool tone colors. I don't know what it is, but beige and gray gives to me at least like very off-duty model. So I want to kind of do a makeup look inspired by that. I want to try and make it a little more extravagant, a little dramatic. I remember seeing a comment saying that they kind of like more dramatic looks from me. So we're going to go ahead and try that today. I already have my contacts in. These are Meow Honey by Unibling. I have a code with them, loser444, if you want these lenses. Let's go ahead and get into today's look. I'm going to be starting off by using a matte primer because I want a matte base for today. What sparked this kind of idea in me, though I do already love these colors like I said, what sparked me to actually want to do a look on this was everybody on TikTok kind of like losing their minds over the Alone Time MAC lipstick. And I believe I said in my Y3K video that in general, a lot of Chinese brands are doing a lot of grayish, beige-ish lip products. And more unconventional colored lip colors are a lot more popular in the sweet beauty scene. And I spend a lot of time on Red Note as well. So I actually got a lipstick that is supposed to be close to Alone Time. It's obviously not advertised that way, but I spent a long time on Sephora being like, I'm not finna buy MAC, so let's see what the next best thing is. And after reading a lot of comments and reviews, they said that this shade is gonna be the closest. You guys will see in a minute. Let's go ahead and go in with our BB cream because I don't own regular foundation. I actually was planning on using a more brown blush, but I could not find one. Everything had a very like harsh red undertone, and that's not the kind of undertone I wanted. So I was like, so I actually don't know what I'm going to do for blush. I don't know if I want to just keep it a cool tone mauve lavender color. I also recently got the Until Dawn matte setting spray. I talked about this in a video and I hadn't actually tried it. So I bought the mini version that I want to try out. I like to spray my concealer before I blend. So we're going to do just that. Hold on. Okay, that felt like hairspray. Like it doesn't feel like anything came on my face. It doesn't feel like anything is on my face. I don't know if I did anything or if that was just air that came out of that can, but I'm scared to do it again. It smells nice. I'm just gonna go ahead and blend. I want blonde brows, but for brows I always use eyeshadow because I don't actually have a whole lot of eyebrow products. But I think I'm gonna use an actual highlighter technically because I think it's bright enough. I'm just gonna take this Floret powder highlighter and an angled brush. My brows are probably gonna end up pretty thin just naturally. Because it's a little too light, I'm going to go over it with this random drugstore palette. See if it'll tone it down a little slightly. I'm first going to carve out my brows with the thing that I'm going to use for contour first to help the blonde brows stand out. And I don't want to use anything too warm like a bronzer because I want this look to stay completely cool. I'm a cool tone leaning more neutral, so sometimes I'll wear things that are more warm. But for today, I want to keep everything very cool. And while I already have this flat brush in my hand, I'm going to go ahead and get started on my nose contour and then use this contour stick for the rest of my face. I want to take what's left on the excess of this sponge that I used for my cool contour and put it all over my lid because I want my base for my eye look to be pretty flat neutral. I also am going to dab a little bit on my natural tear bag. I'm just gonna use a nice muted lavender blush. With this blush, I like to put it on my hand first and then little by little dab it onto my skin, only because when working with this, I have noticed that for whatever reason, sometimes with the way that I put it on at least, sometimes will take off a little bit of my base. So I like to work with it in small increments, dabbing literally the smallest part and then putting it where I want it to go. This is our base so far. The blush is very subtle, very soft, and I think I kind of want to keep that. And before we powder, we're going to put this on once more because I don't know if it did its job or not. It says to hold like 10 to 12 inches away from you and then spray, but like it sprays so light. It sprays like if you've ever used like a dry shampoo, it sprays exactly like that. There's no like droplets or anything on my face. It doesn't feel like there's anything on my face. If I'm actually using this correctly, I love it. I'm gonna use a matte setting powder. I think I absolutely love this because before putting on my powder, it felt like I didn't necessarily need powder. Now we're going to go over everywhere that I put that contour stick. I'm going to take this purple, I guess, in this palette, smallest amount because it is an eyeshadow, and I'm going to use this as blush. I did not use a whole lot because the blush is not the star of the show today. I want to focus mainly on the eyes. I'm going to wipe off this excess powder and then come back and we'll get started on the eyeshadow. Of course, I'm going to keep everything in this one eye palette because it's basically all of the neutrals that I need. I think I want to start with this all over the lid. Next, we're going to take this shade. And I want to start mainly in my crease in the outer corner. And I'm slightly blending it up towards my brow bone, not all the way though. I then want to use this grayish brownish shade in the center of this drugstore palette. And I'm going to apply it in the same spot that I just applied that previous shade, but closer to the lash line. Now, we're going to go back a little bit. We're going to take this previous shade and I want to kind of do a little cut crease moment. So I want to accentuate my nose contour a little bit. Then take that grayish brownish shade once more and do the same thing, but primarily in the center. And I'm really just like stippling it on at first. And I feel like being slightly extra, so I want to contour my nose a little bit with that same shade. I want to take this shade, the lightest shade in this palette, and kind of put this obviously in this empty space that we've established, as well as on my brow bone. Now I want to get into the bottom eye makeup. We're going to take this shade in this palette and draw our bottom liner, or at least where the liner is going to go. And I like my bottom liner to go straight out. And I want to go back in with the shade right next to it. And I'm going to use this shade to draw my aegis out. You can skip this part. However, if you have eyes like mine, it's kind of hard to skip it. They're kind of very prominent. I'm going to take a nude lip liner because I don't have a nude eyeliner. And I'm going to do it all throughout. Usually I only do the outer corner, but I think it would look pretty cool all throughout. I'm going to try and mix this highlighter powder and this together, as this to me is a little too white. I'm going to go over that cut crease. I'm going to take an angled brush in a cool tone black. Yes, there are warm tone blacks. And I'm going to carefully trace over exactly where I want my liner to go and blend it slightly. And I don't want to go past where this cut crease is supposed to be. I want to blend it up right up until then. I want to go over my bottom liner with the darkest brown in this palette and kind of accentuate it, keeping it right underneath that nude liner. Okay, I want to take like a smidgen of white, just a smidgen of white, like not too much. Go over specifically the front. And then my brow bone, just a smidge. And leaving a bit of a space. I'm going to go ahead and go over all the areas that I want to highlight with this powder. I'm going to use this crusty random palette that I have for highlighter. I'm going to take this Juicy Jelly highlighter stick and go over my eyeshadow with it. On my cheekbones. I'm so confident. I'm going to go ahead and do eyeliner. I'm going to do a very thin eyeliner look. Just following along exactly where I put that black eyeshadow. I'm going to finish off camera. For lashes, I'm going to be attempting to use lash clusters. These are Veyes Beauty manga style lash clusters. I'm going to do this off camera. Lash clusters are on. I kind of messed up this eye, but we're going to act like I did that correctly. For the bottom, I'm going to need some mascara. I'm going to use this mascara because it's not a super black. The shade Deep Ash. It's kind of like a grayish color, which goes with the vibe. I'm going to use the glitter that I used for my brow bone and my nose. I just took some on the end of this brush. Let's see. It's so muggy in here. Like, now we're going to move on to lips. I'm going to go in with this gray brown color for lip liner. This is the lipstick that we are going to be using. This is the closest that I found to Alone Time by MAC. Keep in mind, I am colorblind, so it's very hard for me to figure out undertones and see the difference in them. And this is just what I picked based off reading reviews and other people describing the color. I want to take a little bit of same glitter as before and add it to my lips because I think that would just look so cute. This is the final look. I am obsessed. Ah! I feel so Kiana. I feel like Kiana Grande. Everything about this look is eating. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a like, comment, and subscribe, as well as turn on notifications so you never have to miss another video. Bye!